And Shah, just keep checking that whether the sir has joined or not. Huh? And then
Yes, ma'am.
and Pooja ma'am also.
Yes, ma'am.
I think Pooja ma'am joined the meeting.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Answer is
Morning.
in 5 minutes.
Good morning, Ansha. Good morning, Neha. Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Rani.
ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Anand sir is joining in 5 minutes, ma'am.
Yeah. By the time students will also join. Ansha, has sir joined?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Join at 9:40.
Yeah.
1 more minute.
Okay.
We will join.
Yeah, okay. It's raining also badly, so hope students are safe and at home. And can I request students to start their cameras? Why are they not starting their cameras in such a good college? We want to see who these beautiful people are. It's okay even if you are at home. Even I am at home. At least we can see your houses if you allow us. Chalo, start your cameras. Come on, kids. You're in HR. You should never be shy. Whatever, wherever you are, you should start the camera. Come on. Yes, Jia Jain heard us. Very nice. How are you, Jia? Good morning. Good
You are
morning,
on
Jia.
mute.
I can see Saptarishi coming in, Krish coming in, Riddhima coming in. Kash.
Yeah, Anand sir is here, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anandji.
Good morning,
morning.
principal. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So before you came, I was telling children to switch on their camera so we know who are we talking to. Yes, I can see Dwaj, Ayush, Girisha, then Bhairavi. Very nice. At least principal takes your name. You should be happy. I can see Aman, Himanshu. Good to see Himanshu back. He has been attending daily. Very nice. Krish, Sarah, you can see Paridhi. Yes, early morning, good morning. Over to Ansha. And would request every student to start their camera. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Education is the passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Education is not just going to college and getting a degree. It's about widening your knowledge and observing the truth about life.
A very good morning to everyone present here. I, Neha.
And I, Ansha, are here to welcome you back to the Induction Lecture Series. Welcome to this remarkable series of knowledgeable lectures featuring our honorable guest who will undoubtedly enrich your wisdom. This unique platform offers you the chance to gain expert insights and to be explored to a plethora of new ideas.
I would now like to welcome our source of unwavering determination and wisdom, our backbone, the principal of HR College, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani.
Good morning, dear students, brand ambassadors of HR College, Dr. Rani, the Vice Principal, my dear Ansha and Neha, the brand ambassadors of Council, and everyone who is sitting and enjoying the early morning rain, and lucky people who got holidays. So today, Ansha and Neha fortunately got a holiday. And what is this lecture series or induction series is to introduce our first year batches. Mr. Anand, welcome. The ones who have joined our HR college for maybe third year, if they were with us in junior college, or first year, the dream of getting into one of the biggest popular college of Mumbai, where they will explore a leader in themselves, where they will find out their strengths to capitalize on them, where they will also find their weaknesses, which will help them to work on their weaknesses and take on challenges and opportunities in the world. HR believes in empowering students to work together through different clubs. That's our uniqueness. And one of our highlight that happens in HR is industry interaction. And here we have another induction lecture series with Mr. Anand Singhania, a person who will be guiding us today onto varied aspects of industry again. Students, as we said, HR is of the students, by the students, and for the students. Here, thousands of opportunities will explode every day, like a bomb. it is up to you which chingari you catch and bring it in your life and become a firework. So it is up to you to explore different areas, different opportunities. And I welcome Mr. Anand Singhania on this online mode. Thank God we did not do offline. Otherwise, everybody would have been stuck somewhere, either in train or in car. So we decided that for the first few days, till first years come down to city and settle down, we will do online lecture series and only industry lecture series so that they know what is in the piggy bag for them for the next 3 years. So beginning with the industry academia interaction and these induction lecture series, I think I must thank Dr. Rani, who has been a key initiator, controller, facilitator of these lecture series. And every morning when I see Ansha and Neha taking charge of these sessions, controlling everybody on mute or question answers and moderating sessions, I think what these first years will observe is what HR is just the glimpse so that they can get into the near future as leaders. So welcoming Anandji in the a beautiful session today and enjoy the session. Please ask a lot of questions because whenever you interact with industry, it is the time that you ask your doubts because it helps you to make your career. So all the best and looking forward to the series of lecture. Looking forward.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind words. I would also like to welcome our degree college vice principals, Dr. Naveen Punjabi, Dr. Rani Tyagi, and Dr. Jasveer Sodhi, and all the other faculty members present here. We are so thrilled to have you all here with us today.
I would now like to welcome Dr. Rani Tyagi, our Vice Principal. She is the Assistant Professor in the Department of Environmental Studies and is also the Member of Board of Examination and Evaluation at the HSNC University. I call upon Rani ma'am to please introduce our guest speaker for the day, Mr. Anand Singhania.
Thank you, Ansha. Good morning, sir. Mr. Anand Singhania, a fifth-generation industrialist, is the CEO of JK Enterprises and director in JK Organization, Platinum Fashion Apparels, and Subhash Silk Mills Limited. He started his career as a management trainee in the engineering division of Raymond Limited in 1995 and eventually became the whole-time director of Raymond Limited. Mr. Singhania was the only non-European individual to be invited to the elitist round table of the European File Manufacturers Association. He has headed the cutting tools panel of the Engineering Export Promotion Council of India and has been a commissioner of the Board of Commissioners of PT-JK Files Indonesia. Mr. Singhania has been involved in the activities of educational institutions, organizations, and charitable trust in the JK organization and elsewhere. He is the immediate past president of the 115-year-old IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry after being on the managing committee since several years. He was a member of the executive committee of the Indo-Italian Chambers of Commerce. He was also elected unopposed as president of the Bombay Management Association in 2005-2006, the youngest, I repeat, the youngest in the 52 glorious years of the association. Mr. Singhania has been a member of the steering committee of Corporate Governance Awards of the Asian Center of Corporate Governance and on the jury of many other awards. He was co-chairperson of the prestigious PICI Maharashtra State Council 2021-22. He is a nominee on the boards of ASSOCHAM and Bombay Chambers of Commerce and Industry Trade Bodies and an executive committee member of the China-India Forum. He is very fond of motor racing and enjoying playing sports, namely snooker and squash. Sir, on behalf of HR College of Commerce and Economics, we welcome you to address our first-year students.
Thank you, Dr. Tyagi. A very good morning to all of you. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you. So a very good morning, Principal Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, Vice Presidents Dr. Rani Tyagi, and my known person, Dr. Naveen Punjabi from the HR College, the faculty members, the student council, representatives, and students. It gives me great pleasure to address you this morning. It's truly inspiring to witness such a gathering of bright minds and eager hearts on a gloomy Thursday morning. I know that each person here is driven by a thirst for knowledge, a passion for innovation, and a commitment to making a positive impact on the world. The Incubation Series at the HR College of Commerce and Economics is a testament to the institution's commitment to nurturing future leaders and fostering a culture of academic excellence. I thank Dr. Pooja, Dr. Rani Tyagi for giving me this opportunity to address you today. I've had the pleasure to be a part of several industry academy interactions with the HSNC University as president of the IMC Chamber of Commerce in the past year. We had a couple of interesting sessions on topics as diverse as from neurons to nations, how investing in early childhood development builds healthy societies, held at the Bombay Teachers Training College, to a session on mental health, dealing with academic and social pressures at the chamber, to talks by distinguished industry leaders at KC College. HSNC University Provost Dr. Niranjan Hirandandani has been my predecessor at the IMC as IMC president, and he's well known to me. He is an inspiration for one and all. Dr. Hemlata Bagla, Vice Chancellor HSNC University, is a wonderful academician and thought leader. You students are in very capable hands. I'm sure you will find great benefits from their wisdom and mentorship. You're blessed to be a part of this rich legacy. I wish you my very best, and I hope that I can make this talk a meaningful and enriching experience for each one of you. I'll be talking a bit about India and the opportunities that India has, because I think the time is right, and this population, the youth of today, are the future of tomorrow. As you embark on this exciting journey of higher education, I can't help but acknowledge how privileged you are part of a university that has consistently nurtured exceptional talent and forged leaders who have played significant roles in shaping India's economic landscape. You, my dear students, are the pioneers of the future, the architects of change, and the torchbearers of progress. Each one of you possess a set of talents, dreams, and aspirations that hold the potential to shape the course of India's future. And mind you, don't take this lightly. You are the future, and each one of you can make a difference. India has indeed arrived on a global stage as a power to reckon with. It's the bright spot on the world economy, growing at over 6 to 6.5% in GDP terms. The world is growing at only 3.5%, and India is almost double that. The opportunities are immense, given its market size, burgeoning middle class, rapid urbanization, young population, growing influence in international affairs, and the geopolitical necessity for exploring alternate supply chains. A lot of global companies have found India as a place they should be. Where else can global firms find 500,000 new engineers every year? The rich demographic dividend of a young population delivers huge opportunities for employment, consumption, growth, and rapid development through the information highway. Besides, change is easier to implement with young minds. Our GDP is currently $3.75 trillion, which is poised to grow to $5 trillion, then to $10 trillion, and hopefully to over $30 trillion by 2047, when India celebrates 100 years of independence, or should I say, Bharat at 100. This can only be possible with a growth rate of at least 8% over the long term. Even if you look at the immediate target of $5 trillion by 2027, India needs to overcome the global headwinds due to the recession and the Russia-Ukraine war by focusing on infrastructure growth, consumption growth, and manufacturing growth. I have no doubt that in the third term of Prime Minister Modi, we will actually cross $5 trillion. That's in the less than next 5 years. The outlay of 2 trillion rupees, that's 2 lakh crores, for the production-linked incentive schemes across 14 sectors expect to cater to give you 6 million additional jobs and probably 30 trillion rupees of additional manufacturing output out of India in the next 5 years. India has come a long way on several fronts, from an importer of almost $45 million of mobile phones to now poised to become an exporter of $25 billion phones. From largely being dependent on imports to defense to exports of defense equipment, from constructing 12 kilometers a day to 40 kilometers a day of roads. In fact, we recently created a world record in constructing 100 kilometers in a span of just 100 hours on the Ghaziabad-Aligarh Expressway. India has truly progressed, but as I feel, she has miles to go before she sleeps, It's peculiar. A little over 3 years ago, no one heard of COVID. A little over a year ago, there was no war between Russia and Ukraine. However, things changed rapidly, and COVID is luckily behind us, thanks largely to India's ability to vaccinate over 1 billion Indians with over 2.2 billion doses. Thanks to the Aadhaar-linked COVID platform, we were able to get our vaccine certificates in record time. The world is actually in awe of us. We soon became the farmer supplier of vaccines for the entire world, and our support to the lesser developed nations by supply of timely vaccines received much praise. India's achievements extend beyond its borders. Our nation's rising influence is evident given the fact that India has catapulted itself from the 10th largest economy to the 5th largest economy over the past 10 years. In fact, we are on track to become the 3rd largest economy in the next 5 years. The reasons for growth are obvious. A set of digital services have been rolled out by the government that links ordinary Indians to their electronic identity. Such indigenous tech initiatives are causing the cost of technology to drop. The conducive ecosystem created by the government of India has transformed the startup scene in India. We have witnessed a surge in the number of young entrepreneurs brimming with innovative ideas and the zeal to disrupt conventional industries. These startups are not only fueling economic growth, but are also solving real-world problems with technology and ingenuity. Today, India has the 3rd largest number of startups with a coveted $1 billion valuation mark. These unicorns symbolize the unparalleled potential and resilience of Indian entrepreneurs who have defied the odds and created companies that have revolutionized various sectors. Support from government bodies like the Ministry of Electronics and Information, MITI, and initiatives like the Digital Innovation Alliance, a key initiative of India's presidency of G20, have played a pivotal role in nurturing and empowering this dynamic sector. Their support has enabled startups to flourish and has made India a hotbed for innovation and technological advancement. India has come a long way. From creating 1 unicorn a year in 2016, we created 44 unicorns in 2021 alone, and now India is home to over 108 unicorns as per the latest statistics. But I must say, don't be over-enamored by the race for valuations. On one hand, Mensa Brands, a pioneer in building digital brands, took only 6 months from being a startup to being a unicorn, whereas another company, 5-Star Business Finance, took 37 years. Yes, 37 years to reach a valuation of $1 billion. So the path is not one way. There are going to be challenges as you go along. I'm happy to say that we are home to 4 decacorns that are startups valued at over $10 billion. And they are Swiggy, Nykaa, Flipkart, and Baiju. I'm not sure what's happened to the recent valuation, but they were valued at about $10 billion, over $10 billion. These companies are shining examples of how Indian startups have not only found success domestically, but also making waves at the global arena. Embrace the spirit of innovation. Think big and dare to dream. For the world is watching as India charts its path to success. I'm confident that the next generation of unicorns will emerge from the hallowed halls of institutions like the HR College. And together, we will continue to script an extraordinary success story for India. I must just say that look for solutions when you're looking at new ideas, look for solutions which are inclusive, which bring in, whether it is on the fintech sector by way of financial inclusions, whether it's a need for the masses, whether it's sustainable, whether it is, clean energy, whether it is in areas of, empowerment. Please look at those areas because those are the areas where we need to be. Remember, the future belongs to those who believe in the power of their dreams and are determined to turn them into reality. Embrace the spirit, for the sky is the limit and the world awaits your innovative contributions. As a testament to India's progress along the digital frontier, earlier this week, I released the FICCI FinTech White Paper along with my colleagues under the aegis of the Meaty Startup Hub, which further exemplifies the nation's commitment to fostering a conducive environment for startups to strive. India's strides in the field of digital public infrastructure have also captured international attention, with teams from other nations, including the UK, coming to study and learn from our innovations. The future is bright. India was ranked, can you believe it, 146th in the world in consuming data 10 years ago. And in less than 10 years, we are now the #1 consumer of data. Further, with the onset of the affordable 5G across India, this number is only going to grow exponentially. The government's ONDC platform, which stands for the Open Network for Digital Commerce, is going to be a revolutionary innovation, allowing commerce to take place freely across networks, thereby expanding the overall market and allowing for price discovery and elective choice of the consumer and buyer. Please look out. The ONDC is going to be something that is going to be a complete game changer. The digital revolution has transformed the way we transact and access services. Everything is available at the flick of a button on your mobiles. I'm actually fighting with you to get your attention over your mobile, right? So the UPI, the Unified Payments Interface, has emerged as a complete game changer. It has changed the way money moves in our country. With a seamless and instant transfer of funds, UPI has enabled financial inclusion and brought millions of individuals and businesses into the formal economy. You had the demonetization, and recently you have the withdrawal of the 2,000 rupee note, coupled with the fact that in between you had COVID, which has really helped move us from paper to digital money. The success of UPI is evident when you consider that it facilitates over 10 billion transactions a month. In fact, NPCI, which runs it, is gearing up to actually have 1 billion transactions per day as we move from an organized economy to a cashless economy. And believe me when I say 1 billion, it's not much because we are more than 1 billion people. And even if one person transacts on a daily basis, that's 1 billion transactions. It's actually a matter of pride that Indians can now use UPI or very soon in France, in Singapore, and UAE. And the list is ever expanding. The JAM Trinity, as they call it, the Jan Dhan accounts, the Aadhaar, and the mobile, that's what JAM stands for, has been another monumental initiative in empowering the undeserved sections of our society. It has provided access to financial services, social benefits, direct benefit transfers, and it's actually reached out to those people who have been excluded from the formal banking sector. There are about 500 million Jan Dhan Yojana accounts with an average of only 3,000 rupees in each of these accounts. But what it does, it empowers these people. And through COVID, they were actually able to use these accounts for meeting their daily needs because they had access to their bank accounts on their phones. The onset of these accounts completely removed the middlemen and corruption, and the money reached the needy in their bank accounts. These technological advancements have not only made life easier for citizens, but have also paved the way for economic progress and financial inclusion. This is in tandem with the 1.2 billion plus Aadhaar citizen biometric identification program. That is, of course, the largest done anywhere in the world. And it's so effortless, right? You click onto your Aadhaar website and you can do a OTP authentication. In fact, there are so many services which are on a daily basis. I forget the number, but the numbers are huge that are getting on a moment-to-moment authentication by your Aadhaar. These schemes showcase India's potential to leverage innovation for the greater good and demonstrate how technology can bridge the gap between aspirations and achievements. I'll just tell you a bit more about it. I was talking to the High Commission of Britain, and they say they don't have an equivalent of Aadhaar. They're actually studying the UPI in India because they wonder why they have been left behind. Today, India has galloped in terms of the fast payment mechanism. We are the fastest in the world. I think we are 3 times faster than US and about 6 times faster than China. Even in our stock markets, we were moving with what they call T+2, which is you trade today and you settle within 2 days. We've moved. Now we are the world's fastest. We are at T+1. And very soon, we now plan to go T+0. So in terms of innovation and in terms of technology, we are really harnessing it. Moreover, our use of the Internet of Things is already aiding in reducing cost. Did you know that before the onset of FASTag and GST, which has actually cleared up a lot of backlog at the toll nakas, the wastage of fuel at tolls was an aggregate of 88,000 crores per year. 88,000 crores, that's a lot of money. Now, this has all been reduced due to no congestion, and with FASTag, you just enter the toll and you're out of it within maybe sometimes seconds or minutes or less than a minute. So by harnessing digital technology, the collection of toll has not only become smooth, but above board. Moreover, the spending on infrastructure is an all-time high of 10 trillion rupees and 2.5 trillion rupees towards the railways, besides a support of about 1.3 trillion rupees towards capital spending that will really galvanize the economy. It is a known fact that investments into CapEx have a cascading effect of almost 4.5 times. Seeing the surge in the road travel as a preferred mode of transportation, it is evident that the improved connectivity between cities from north to south and east to west is bringing people closer and uniting India in various ways. These developments should serve as a driving force you need to seize the abundant opportunities that lie. Can you imagine that when we are building so many roads, what kind of facilities that need to be created along these roads? The government is actually chalked out a plan. When they make these roads, they don't follow the existing path. They find a new path. So there's growth on another path. So just like how government is doing it on roads, each one of you have to find your own path where you will feel happy and where you feel content and you will get the recognition you need. As students of this esteemed institution, you're on the forefront of this wave of innovation. Embrace your entrepreneurial spirit, nurture your ideas, and fearlessly explore new territories. Remember, the journey of an entrepreneur may be challenging, but the rewards of making a positive impact on society and the economy are immeasurable. To achieve this dream, we must collectively foster a culture of innovation, research, and entrepreneurship. Empowering our youth with education and skill development will be the cornerstone of this transformation. By harnessing the potential of emerging technologies and fostering a robust ecosystem for startup and enterprises, we can propel India's growth to new heights. Yet, as we forge ahead, we must not lose sight of our responsibility to society and the environment. Sustainable and inclusive growth must be the guiding principles of our economic journey. By prioritizing equitable development, preserving our natural resources, investing in social welfare, we can ensure that the fruits of progress are enjoyed by all segments of society. The government has recently made significant investments to further this cause. The government committed to moving towards renewable energy, rapidly growing solar installation, and pioneering green hydrogen. This, plus the $26 billion subsidy, has made India an attractive destination for manufacturing, and Western governments are keen to forge defense and technology collaborations. Why am I saying this? Because I strongly feel that the future is very bright. And when you graduate in 3 years or 4 years, or I believe there are some students from PG as well, you can actually take benefit of what India is today. Today, we are very proud to be an Indian. And when you travel and when you meet people, people are in awe. People actually, oh, you are from India. Means I need to emulate something. You all are doing something so much right. I need to learn from you. So we may be a developing nation, but in many ways, we're right up there on the technology curve. On the energy side, I am very happy to know that India has committed to become a net zero emission player by 2070. And in this area also, there are huge opportunities. One more thing, this past year, India has surpassed China and become the most populated nation on the earth. The demographics of age is on our side too. The median age in India is 27 years, whereas it is 37 in China. India will now be the home to about 20 to 25% of the world's workforce by 2025. So we are not only the most populated country, will have the largest workforce, and also the smartest minds. It's a matter of pride, when you look at the Indians with at the helm of the world's largest organization, be it Google, PepsiCo, Microsoft, IBM, Starbucks. Forget all of that. An Indian also occupies the hot seat at 10 Downing Street. I mean, we have so many of Indians in positions of power. I was looking at a number, there are about 10 or 15 people between, some of the African nations and Central America. We have 10 people in either president or prime minister. So Indians are really shining all over the world. So why should we settle for being anything less than the largest economy in the world? In fact, when we turn 100, and if the projections do us well, in fact, we should do better than that. We will be the second largest economy by 2047. And for this to happen, it is you all who are the future who can actually make this a reality. Coming to myself, I'd like to share a few important lessons that I have learned over the years. I'm, as already introduced, the 5th generation industrialist, and I come from the 135-year-old JKI organization, which is owned and operated by the Singhania family. My firm, JK Enterprises, is active in finance, agri-commodities, and real estate, which are just a few of the many diverse fields that the group stands for, be it in textiles, ready-mades, cement, tire, paper, engineering, garments, real estate, etc. Why I mention this is that over the, I've been working now for about 30 years. And I have been through various of our businesses, and I've really seen the challenges that come across over the years. Over each organization, each sector comes with its own challenges. But one of the areas that has really helped us is, we have always tried to innovate in everything that we do. So one, on innovate, and I've said a lot about that. The second major challenge has been, a very clear focus on quality. Quality is very, very important. You must never compromise on quality, because quality is something that will differentiate between you and the others. The third factor is in terms of, being ethical in whatever you do. So, how you deal with people, whether they know, they don't know, please be ethical in terms of how you approach people, and, just be dedicated. So as we celebrate India's economic growth and advancement, it's crucial to acknowledge that innovation remains the driving force behind this progress. The ability to think differently and to constantly push the boundaries of what is possible has been the hallmark of India's growth story. Now, innovation is not only confined to any particular field. It's an attitude that permeates every aspect of life. Embrace innovation, whether you're pursuing a career in business, technology, arts, or any other domain. Let your imagination run wild, and do not be afraid to experiment and take calculated risks. Remember, it is those who dare to dream, to question, and to innovate that become the architects of a brighter future. Let me frame it this way. Try to be a responsible rebel. Yes, rebel. Rebels are team members that respect the status quo. They use critical thinking to bring new concepts and methods to the mix. Is that disturbance at my end?
No, sir, no.
No, sir.
Yeah, all right. So, like I was saying, rebels, are one. Yeah. So they catch flaws that hide in everyone else's blind spots, and they improve the odds of success by stress testing the logic behind everything. They live outside the box. They color outside the line, and they define their own way. Never be afraid to ask a question. You may be ignorant once, but forever you will be knowledgeable. I have always followed this in my life. In fact, I learned this very early, and I never had any qualms of asking questions. And I found that other people who were too shy or did not get engaged didn't ask those questions. And because I asked those questions, they were also empowered. Now, some of the world's biggest companies, take it Uber or even the old Apple that Steve Jobs set up, nurtured these qualities. These companies thrived and disrupted the market precisely because the person at the helm rebelled against the norm, dreamed big, and did things different. Still, many of these companies bore the brunt of their rebellions at the later stages in this journey. Things took an ugly turn, and many believed it could all have been avoided if the upstart acted just a bit more responsible. So find the balance. I mean, you're talking about Twitter being renamed as X. Today, it seems absurd to me at least, but I mean, Twitter has been built on a particular thing, but you never know how it evolves. So you need to innovate. If you look at the Hollywood, I'm sure some of you may have watched the movie Barbie. It was produced with about $145 billion, but their marketing budget is more than the production cost. They apparently are spending $150 billion on promoting the movie. They've completely changed it from being a toy company and a girl-only toy thing. The movie already grossed $160 million in the US alone. They've brought Barbie back into mainstream. And now this will actually heighten the sale of toys and the merch as well. This kind of groundbreaking market success would not have been possible if Mattel had simply stuck to conventional norms. So you need to innovate. Next, let me emphasize that dedication and perseverance are the keys to success. When I joined the family business, one of our divisions, the engineering files business segment was facing fierce competition. particularly from China, due to their then low labor and energy costs. To tackle this challenge, we took a strategic approach. We conducted a thorough analysis of our costs and processes, aiming to enhance competitiveness and also to grow the business. Through a comprehensive time motion study, we evaluated the time spent on each process, identifying areas where time was being wasted, where time was being lost. And we were very lucky because we had multiple plants across different locations. So we not only benchmarked each activity, but each process across these various plants to improve efficiency. As a result, we successfully reduced the delivery time, which was 120 days at one point of time. That is from the time we started the production to the time we delivered or exported or shipped the goods out, to 75 days, a significant achievement. Another area of focus was minimizing second quality and defective goods, which was inherent to our labor-intensive manufacturing processes. We had almost 10,000 people. So getting them to work on changing product lines was a lot of effort. So with determined effort, we managed to reduce rejections by more than 50%. Additionally, over a dedicated 4-year focus period, we were able to increase capacity, enhance output through ancillarization, and eventually become the largest producer of files in the world. Students, I share this experience to emphasize that success is not an overnight phenomenon. It requires unwavering dedication, focused vision, and the perseverance to overcome challenges. As you embark on your own journey, remember that the path to success is marked by determination and hard work. Ansha, how are we doing on time?
So we are pretty much on time.
Okay, so I'll just take another 5-10 minutes.
Yes, sir, sure.
Another valuable piece of advice I'd like to share is the importance of connecting with like-minded people. As the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. And this couldn't be truer in a pursuit of your dreams. Let me illustrate this with a small story about my nephew, one of my nephews. He left his successful family industrial business and he chose to follow his dreams, and he stepped away to London to follow his passion for culinary arts. He fulfilled his dream of opening a restaurant, and now I think he's just opened his third one, a dream that had ignited a fire within him. It was a courageous decision, one that was not necessarily the conventional path laid out for him. Yet, by taking this leap of faith, he discovered a world of endless possibility. The moral of the story is simple. Never feel obligated to blindly follow someone else's path. Instead, carve your own trail and follow your dreams. Embrace your passions, and the rest will fall into place. Along the way, you will undoubtedly encounter challenges, but remember, every setback is an opportunity to grow and learn. As you embrace your true calling, you will naturally gravitate towards people who share your interests and aspirations. These like-minded individuals will uplift and inspire you. Together, you will form a community of support, creativity, and collective growth. Surround yourself with those who believe in your dreams and encourage you to reach new heights. I have a quote that deeply resonates with this sentiment. If you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. It'll all be so pleasurable. Embrace your passions wholeheartedly, and you'll find that the journey to success becomes a joyous and fulfilling adventure. But if there's just one thing you take away from this session, let it simply be the ideology that I teach my kids. If you need to cross the road and there are cars coming from both sides, there are obstacles, there's a bus, there's a truck, it's raining. Instead of giving up, you look both ways and walk through the gaps. That is, of course, metaphorically speaking. I hope I don't get a call that one of you got hit by a bus. But please focus on your goal, focus on your target, and just let the noise on the side. In life, we face obstacles, and our path to success, but the idea is to focus on our path, dodge the obstacles, and reach our goal. I leave you with a thought-provoking proverb. There are experts on yesterday, but there are no experts of the future, said by Jack Ma. Let today mark the beginning of your inspiring legacy, shaping the destiny of our great nation, India. Together, let us script a success story that transcends borders and inspires generations to come. I have immense faith in each one of you and your ability to create a future filled with endless possibilities. It's been a pleasure sharing this momentous occasion with you. May your journey be filled with purpose, passion, and prosperity. As you embrace the challenges that lie ahead, remember you have the power to shape India's future. The future is bright and it belongs to you. Thank you, and I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Be happy to take questions from all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that very informative session. So we have a few questions for you here. So
Sure.
you mentioned that your firm has been around for a long time, like a lot of years. So over the years, how do you think that the firm has changed its ways in approaching the market?
Thanks, Neha. It depends on business to business. If I look at our engineering business, we were traditionally selling goods in bulk. We were selling it in dozen packings. We were selling it multiple dozens. When we found that the market had evolved into a DIY market, which is do it yourself, we changed our packaging. We moved into skin packing, we moved into blister packing, we moved into single packing. We changed the packaging to reflect the needs of our consumers. For certain markets, look at what Cadbury did, right? I mean, there was the cockroach or a bug in their chocolate, and they completely changed the packaging to give the people the safety or the mindset that there won't be another bug in the chocolate, right? So you need to innovate, you need to listen to the market, you need to listen to your customer and meet his requirement.
Okay. So we have the next question, which goes like, we've also learned about personal branding, and there may be people who might be ethical and dedicated, but then too, they fail to make their presence known and are often left behind. So like, what are your thoughts on this subject?
If I understood the question, in whatever you do, you need to be true to yourself, because it's not about ticking a box. If you look at CSR, corporate social responsibility, you have to spend a certain amount of your profits into it. A lot of companies today are not ticking a box. They're actually making innovative, they're making meaningful corporate social responsibility projects. For example, it's not spending 2%, but they focus on the power of 98%. That means everything that you do, can you make a change? Can you solve a problem by focusing on the 98% of your profits? Where can you use it? So as far as ethical branding is concerned, I think it's the same thing. If you can be what you want to be, as in be truthful to yourself. If you're truthful to yourself, you'll be truthful to your customer, right? Because only you know what your product has. So if, let's say, you are making false claims or tall claims, or you are misleading the customer, you may get away with it on a short-term basis, but it will definitely not be sustainable.
Yes, sir. We have another question from Ayush. What role do you believe technology and digitalization play in shaping the future of various industries? We have a similar question here. What are the challenges you feel that would be in multimedia and mass communication with AI overtaking much of the task?
Thanks. So I think if you look at ChatGPT, it came out a couple of months back. We all thought that Google will shut down, all your search engines will go away, and we'll all switch to AI. I think AI has come a big way, and there's a lot of runway left. I eagerly await how AI is going to actually continue to change how we do things. But AI has not come today. AI has been there for ages. If you look at, whether my first Android, I think about 10 years ago, and it would actually tell me how long it would take me to work on a daily basis, right? At the moment I left home at about 9:30, it would give me a prompt that will take me 30 minutes to work. I didn't tell it anything. It was just AI at the back. AI is there everywhere. It's just that now it's become more in your face, so you feel that it is going to change things. I mean, people will evolve. The people who there were lots of people involved in the Y2K bug, right? When at the millennium, I think some of you were not even born, perhaps. But in 2000, when India really came on the digital map of the world by solving a world problem, which was the computers, they didn't know how to go from 2-digit to 4-digit. When 1999 turned to 2000, it would reset all the systems around the world. But we put in millions of people to solve a world problem. Now, where did these people go 1st of January 2000 and 2000, right? Still there. They did other things. So as far as AI is concerned, it's definitely going to take away some of the routine jobs. And that's how innovation works, right? I mean, today everybody was waiting. I mean, this is also pre your times. Is we used to wait. If you needed a telephone connection, you needed to wait to get a telephone, right? Now, in 10 minutes, you can get a mobile phone connection. So there's no waiting. So it's just the evolving. When cars came in, people thought, what will happen to the horse carriages? People thought, who's going to look after them? But it's an evolution. With technology, new things come. Some things become obsolete. I mean, who uses a Walkman now or a CD player, right? I mean, we're all on digital music, right? You Spotify yourself, you YouTube, or you use any streaming device to listen to music.
Yes, sir. I totally agree with you. For a second, I just thought, what was the CD drive that we play music to? And then I was like, okay, it's that. So I agree with you. So we have the next question in the chat box, which says, specifically with regards to India's growth story, what obstacles will we possibly face, and what are the sectors that yet need to be developed considerably for India to be successfully become a global power?
I think one of the major concerns today is job creation. So whereas there is a lot of potential for India, there is a concern whether there's going to be enough job creation. We have very good education systems. We are bringing out very good future leaders. Whether will they be absorbed? Now, especially if you look at the IT sector, they spend a lot of time training people so that they can be useful, like they're the right people, the right fit in their jobs. So I think one of the main concerns is job creation. Longer insulated from the world markets, right? So I mean, if there's a war in Ukraine, it's affecting the energy crisis across the world. There's inflation. There's very high inflation in UK and in Europe and in the US. How does it affect us? It affects us adversely. Our exports get hit. We did about $700 billion of exports. We want to get to $1 trillion. Now, if the world markets are depressed, if the world is growing at 3% and we want to grow at 6% or 7% or 8%, where will this growth come from? I mean, some of course will come from our internal market, from our domestic markets, but the large part of it, we are expecting that we will at least at $5 trillion, we want to have exports of $1 trillion, right? So this needs to come from world markets. We are no longer, like I said, we are no longer insulated. So we are a part of the global arena. And I'm very happy to know that over the last few years, our share in global trade.
Yes, sir. We have one more question Yeah, so what do you think about real estate investments as financial instruments? Which REIT would you consider good in India?
Sorry, could you say that again? I lost you in between. Real estate
Yes,
is
sir. Sure. Yes, sir. So, what do you think about real estate investments? Are they good financial instruments? And which REIT would you consider good in India?
so I'm not an expert to give you advice on this program on what to invest and not to invest. And I'll refrain from that, though I do have information about it. But what I want to say about the REITs and InvITs, these are new structures that are come up to be, and it has a huge potential because it aggregates finance to look at things. So there are REITs in the real estate space which look at commercial spaces. There are REITs which look at REITs which look at purely residential places. They look at mixed use. And what these basically do is the debenture trustee which runs the REIT, they ensure there is access to capital. They're like venture capitalists who look after the needs of these real estate companies, and they finance them, and they ensure that systems and places are in place so that there's regular income that is there. As far as real estate market is concerned, I think the fact that the government is pushing very hard for housing for all, there's a huge potential for housing. I mean, how many of us who's present here, I see about 300 people, have their own house, as in their parents, they live in their own house. Some of us are in rented places. Some of us don't have our own housing. Maybe we are all at the higher end of the affluent line, so we all have houses. But there are a lot of people who don't have housing, and therefore there's a huge potential. When you're looking at 1.4 billion people, there's a huge potential for housing. And this will have to come from affordable housing. And you see what's happening with connectivity. I mean, today I'm in South Bombay, just like you are. And it was 5 years or 7 years ago, you had the Eastern Expressway, and suddenly Chembur became 10 minutes away. So people from Chembur could come to South Bombay to attend HR college or watch a movie at Inox in 15 minutes. I mean, from Malabar Hill, I would not reach Nariman Point in 15 minutes, but people from Chembur could come. So when you're bringing in so much connectivity, you're bringing people closer. There's going to be the housing needs are going to change, right? People can stay in Alibag, take the Trans Harbour link and reach Mumbai in 20, 30 minutes. It's quicker than coming from Worli to Nariman Point. So there's going to be a huge demand for housing as connectivity improves, right? Because people will like to stay wherever they like. And now, thanks to COVID and thanks to technology, we are having 300 people work from home today. Or work from different places. So technology is enabling us so we can be wherever we like.
Yes, sir. Now, moving on to the last question. It says, being a fifth generation industrialist, what efforts were taken by you to continue the legacy, and why is it necessary to diversify other fields and expand particularly?
Thanks. I think it's an interesting question. So I think, in any family managed business, there are a lot of dynamics because generally in businesses which have family involved, there are two hierarchies. One is the family hierarchy and one is the business hierarchy. So you may be the chairman's son, the chairman's nephew, the chairman's daughter, but you have to, most businesses, including ours, they move towards meritocracy. So even if you may be born into the family, born into the business, doesn't mean that you will run a business. It doesn't mean that you will be at the helm of a business. You have to earn your seat. You have to be on the top of your game, and you need to make sure that you can get into the business. So a lot of companies, including us, have started something called a family office, where everybody is not in the business. Some people are, and some people are not in the family business, or let's say in the professional business. Now, the question of as far as need to innovate or to diversify, it all depends on where you are. Right? So let's say Bajaj Auto for so many years have remained in auto, and they're not diversified. They, of course, they did Bajaj Finance and they had made a separate entity. But in terms of the main core business, they remained in auto because that's where their strengths lie. They don't need to diversify. Number of businesses, you see in license Raj days, which is 90s, you needed a license to grow. You were limited by the rule, so you couldn't grow. So let's say I had a 2 million ton plant of cement and I wanted to grow. I didn't get a license to grow. So what do? I want to grow. I have capital. What do? I have to diversify. I want to use my capital to diversify. So I diversify. Now, those were in those days. Why do people diversify today? They diversify because they want to diversify into related things. So you want to use a common distribution. I'm into, say, for example, I'm in engineering. I'm selling engineering through my hardware stores. What are the other products that I can sell to it? So I'll diversify. So I use the supply chain, either it's the input side or the output side, to enhance my product offering and sell it. Why do people diversify? There are opportunities. Today, if you think electric vehicles is the opportunity, right? I mean, everybody's turning EV. Everybody's turning green. Can I go into hybrid? Can I go into battery making? Can I go into green tech? Can I go into solar? You look at digital revolution, right? So let's say UPI now. India has this digital public infrastructure, what we call UPI, which is digital banking, Jan Dhan, which is of course local to India, and mobile. Now we want to export this around the world. Of course, India at the national level with Prime Minister Modi is doing that. But I mean, this is the opportunity. I mean, my business is considering whether we can partner with other countries to give them this opportunity. So that's why you diversify. Diversify with reference to the needs by the opportunities that are available to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So that brings us to the end of today's session. So your perception of India's development as it goes and its development in the future was something truly captivating. Your views on youth development and growing economy, as well as dedication and perseverance as qualities that someone should have, was really compelling.
So as we step upon this enthralling journey together, I urge you all to seize every opportunity to learn every single chance that you get and make the most of this opportunity. We are thrilled to have you here and are sure that you will make your loved ones proud.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope that you continue to contribute to this community's legacy and become virtuous leaders of an upstanding tomorrow. Once again, thank you, Mr. Singhania, for your time, and thank you everyone for joining in. We hope to see you back here for another edifying lecture.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I'd like to just thank Dr. Pooja, Dr. Tyagi, all the student coordinators, and all the participants. Thank you for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful hosting you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a wonderful day. Be